All right, good morning. Welcome in. Farzin Vasugian here with you for another episode of the Pregame Live Chat. We are here for Chiefs, Titans, and I'm sure there will be other topics to discuss this morning. It is the week of Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all of you early risers on this Sunday. I am not used to these Sunday noon kickoff games. I am not. We've had a lot of 10 a.m. pregame live chats. I think this is our third noon kickoff game of the season. Still dark in Phoenix. Nice. Must be. Listen, man, I've been on the West Coast. Excuse me. I've been on the West Coast for football games. It is so weird when it's, and I know Phoenix is one of those weird places in the state of Arizona, specifically because of how they do daylight savings time and whatnot. But man, it is weird when it's 5:20 and Sunday night football starting off. And then being in Mexico recently, watching Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night games. Dude, I don't know how you people stay up for those games. I mean, listen, I struggle some Saturdays for college football. UFC, man, dude, listen, I'm not as young as I once used to be, which I hate saying, by the way, because no one is. But it is so hard to stay up for those UFC fights. I will like, and by the way, I love the new UFC deal that's coming in. The ESPN Plus deal really drove me away from the UFC more over the years, but I'm excited for the new UFC deal because Paramount is going to be a way better deal. But we are not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Tennessee Titans. You guys are excited about this one, right? Everyone's ready for Chiefs Titans. This has been on everyone's calendar for the whole season. December the 21st, just days before Christmas. Yeah, you guys have been looking forward to this one for quite some time and still are, I assume. All right, what are we looking for in this game? Because the Chiefs are out of it. The Titans are obviously way out of it. What can be accomplished in this game? Well, the bad news is the Chiefs made a lot of roster moves in the last 24 hours, putting Juwan Taylor on IR. Leo Chenal on IR was a shock to a lot of people. Elijah Mitchell was cut. Don't know what that experience was all about, but it is what it is. And the Chiefs look like they are going to be moving forward with a lot of young guys. I think Jeffrey Bossa is going to start getting significant playing time on defense in these last three games. With no Rashee Rice and no Tyquan Thornton. Both are in the concussion protocol. It appears that Jalen Royals is going to finally get his first target of the season. He has not been targeted once this entire year. He's been playing snaps on the season, but I don't think, they haven't been throwing the ball to him. I think he's going to start getting some passes thrown his way. In terms of, the Chiefs, they're still going to try to win this football game. Football players are competitors. They're never going to try to throw a football game. Jobs are still, on the line here. So they still want to go out there and try to finish on a strong note here. Your wide receivers are going to be who today? It's going to be Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Nico Remigio, and Jalen Royals. No Rashee Rice, no Tyquan Thornton. I would say Thornton's been your most effective receiver this year, and Rice supposed to be your best, but he's not really having the type of season we all thought he was going to have coming back from that suspension. Yeah, and I think that's the most frustrating thing about this season is that wide receiver trio, big disappointment this year. And I think, part of it is offensive scheme and just accountability. Like the route running hasn't been good. Mahomes has been overthrowing receivers. Drops, that doesn't help as well. The good news is, if you're a Chiefs fan, there is that report from Diana Rossini of The Athletic, and her report is that the Tennessee Titans are very seriously considering Matt Nagy. Hold up. Let me make sure we're good here. There we go. Yes, the Tennessee Titans are considering Matt Nagy. I want Matt Nagy to prove he is a decent backup. he sucks. Listen, he's a backup for a reason. You're not going to get a lot of good backups in the NFL. It's because I know a lot of times what happens is the starting quarterback goes down, the backup comes in, and all kinds of complaints. Like, guys, this guy's a backup quarterback for a reason. Now, I think in the NFL, because of the amount of injuries we just see over the course of a year now, especially with longer seasons, grueling training camps and whatnot, hard-hitting defenses, even though, people say the rules benefit the offenses more than the defenses, you still see hard-hitting defenders out there. And you do need viable backups at that position. So we'll see what he does. Just don't throw short screen passes and get Royals injured. Look, I think with Minshew, you have to know what your limitations are. He's obviously a backup for a reason. So it'll be interesting to see how the Chiefs go about doing things offensively here, especially against a Titans team that just hasn't been good. On paper, it just seems like the Chiefs match up great, but that's been the case for a lot of games this year for the Chiefs, and that has not come to fruition. By the way, another interesting move, Dameon Pierce was elevated to the main roster. Chu Godric also elevated to the main roster. You still have Travis Kelce out there playing, so you have Travis Kelce, Noah Gray. I'd like to see more of Robert Tonyan and Jared Wiley. Well, let's see what those young guys can do. Let's see what Jalen Royals can do. Is Nico Remigio something worth considering at the wide receiver position in the future? I mean, I want to see those guys. We've been getting a lot of Ashton Gelati, which is great. But give me some Jeffrey Bossa on the defensive side of the football as well, from the same draft class. Give me some Cooper McDonald. Can those guys do something for this football team? I know Kevin Knowles has done some really good things on special teams in training camp, preseason, and a little bit in the regular season as well. So Noel Williams, are those guys who can pick up the slack, especially considering Trent McDuffie appears to be a very popular trade candidate going into this upcoming offseason. Those are things that I'd like to see. Christian Fulton, is he someone worth keeping around for 2026? That's what I want to see. Listen, I know no Chiefs player wants to hear this, but these are 3 preseason games. What do you do in a preseason game? You want to see which players are worth keeping around. That's what you want to do. I guess in an ideal world, your offense plays lights out and you lose 43-41 so you can get your draft pick, which I know everyone's wanting. Me personally, I think draft positioning is a little overrated. We see a lot of great players go early, don't do well. We've seen a lot of players, and I think that's proven here in Kansas City. They do great. Puka Nacua, who has been great this season and was great Thursday night. He was, I think, a 4th or a 5th round pick. Obviously, the most infamous name that gets used with these kinds of discussions, Tom Brady, the 199th pick. Who could forget? Yeah, the run game's been interesting. I didn't mention Brashard Smith, how many carries has Brashard Smith had this season? It has not been many. But Kareem Hunt, I mean, he's great in the short yardage situations, but his yard per carry average still below 4. Pacheco also below 4, which is abysmal. Brashard Smith is averaging 3 yards a carry. With his speed, you would think he would do more. You know what's crazy? You know what's Isaiah Pacheco's longest run of the season? Without looking it up, you guys take a guess. What is Isaiah Pacheco's longest run of the season? I'd be curious to know what you guys say. Without looking it up. I seriously, if you asked me this, I would have said at least 20 yards. I actually want to look up last year because I know last year he was not great either. Isaiah Pacheco's longest run last year was 34 yards. This year, his longest run, 16 yards. 10, 15, 10, 31. Okay, guys are there. His longest run in 2023 was 48 yards. I remember that, the 48-yard touchdown run against the Jets on Sunday Night Football. And in 2022, he had to have a 51. 2022, surprisingly, his longest run was 31 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had a 52-yard run that season. Interesting. I thought Pacheco for sure had a big run, like a massive big run. But he was still good and effective in 2022, his rookie year. Don't get me wrong, but I thought there was a chance he had a big run that year. I don't remember that. How many yards did he have rushing in 2023? He had 935 yards, and there was a chance that he could have had 1,000 rushing yards. Kelsey could have had 1,000 receiving yards, but they rested all the starters except for Chris Jones in that last game because Chris Jones was playing for, I think, a $1.5 million incentive. Yeah, 16 yards. I mean, Pacheco is a fast football player. He was tied for the fastest 40 time among running backs that draft class. Tyquan Thornton had the fastest 40 time of any offensive player in that same draft class. So, you bring in this speed. You have all the speed on your football team, and you can't muster a better offensive outing. You're 15th in total offense, or I'm sorry, 15th in scoring. Where do they rank in total offense? They are 7th in total offense. And that number is dropping. Listen, I know we've gone over this Matt Nagy, Eric Bieniemy thing and beat it to death, but it cannot be stated enough. I mean, when Eric Bieniemy was the offensive coordinator from 2018 to 2022, the Chiefs finished 6th or higher in points per game. With Matt Nagy, they've been 15th in points every single year, including this year. Total offense, again, under Bieniemy, you've been in the top 6. With Nagy, you have not been in the top 6. It's either right now they're 7th, and that offense looked great at one point this year. But even before all these injuries, it just started falling apart. So, and the thing is, the Chiefs have had a top 10 defense each of the last 3 years. They were 2nd in points allowed and total yards 2 years ago in 2023. They were 4th in points allowed and 9th in total defense last year. This year, they're 4th in points allowed and 7th in total defense yards allowed. I mean, if you have a defense that's in the top 10 in both categories, you've got to come away offensively. And the Chiefs have not been able to do that. They just haven't. And that's been extremely frustrating. I think that's the most frustrating thing about this team this year. Do I drink coffee? No. Hell no. People are like, how do you function? I don't know. I just do. I am not a morning person, though. I'm trying to be. Especially getting up with my weight loss, trying to work out. It's okay. You guys are not supposed to notice the weight loss. It's only 50 pounds. Brashard Smith's yard per carry average is misleading as he was used to kill the clock in the Raider game. No, valid point, but I still would have liked to see him get used more in games. All right. I know a lot of people are coming in here. Good morning for those of you just coming in. Appreciate you all joining us on this pregame live chat. We do have to get into the breaking news from yesterday. And if you missed it, the state of Kansas, according to the Sunflower State Journal, they are reporting that Governor Laura Kelly, the governor of Kansas, has planned a, quote, special announcement Monday afternoon. Take that for what it is to you. And then the mayor of Kansas City issued another statement saying Kansas City, the state of Missouri, and the new executive team at Jackson County have continued negotiations with our teams through this week. Kansas City and its partners have made compelling but responsible offers north of $1.5 billion with identifiable and backed sources of funds to maintain the legacy of Arrowhead Stadium while updating its facilities to remain among the finest in the National Football League and in the world. Any decision to depart, this is a very important part of the quote, the statement here. Any decision to depart from such a legacy home would have no reflection on the outstanding people of Kansas City and Jackson County, who for 50 years have given their passion, energy, and public investment into building the Chiefs into one of America's finest sports brands. We'll reserve further comment until we hear from the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. That statement is basically saying, hey, it's not over till it's over, ... but we know it's over. That's basically what that statement is saying. Look, I'm getting a lot of comments. People are honestly making stuff up. I woke up to a comment this morning. Someone said, oh, the players are pushing back, and it's got to be on an April ballot. Folks, no official announcement has been made about an April ballot with the teams. No player has pushed back. Patrick Mahomes went on MSNBC. I can't remember exactly when, but at some point he went on and said, you can't go wrong with either option. So my point is, there are a lot of people who are pushing back saying, wait, it's not over. Nothing's official. Yeah, I'm very well aware. It's almost like when a coach, because the playoffs are starting, right? Let's say the Chiefs want Eric Bieniemy as their next offensive coordinator. Well, if the Bears go to the Super Bowl, the Chiefs can't do anything because Bieniemy legally cannot sign or say anything either because his team still has their season in progress. It's the exact same thing in free agency. A lot of deals are made between agents and teams at the combine, and the media reports on it, but nothing official can be announced because they have to wait until the new league year begins, when free agency actually begins. That's the exact same thing that's happening right now. Yeah, the Chiefs and the state of Kansas, they cannot officially say anything, but like the writing's on the wall here. And I understand there are a lot of people on the Missouri side that aren't happy about this, that don't like this at all. People who love Arrowhead and think that Arrowhead is sacred ground and should never be messed with at all. Listen, I've got nothing for you. I mean, if you're really one of those people who thinks that this is just smoke and nothing's going to happen, prepare to be disappointed. And listen, I'm not saying that lightly. Arrowhead, obviously, like, this is a shock to everybody. Any Chiefs fan loves Arrowhead. You're not who is a Chiefs fan that says they don't love Arrowhead? If you don't love, the drunk idiots there or the parking craziness before and after the game, that's fine. But no one's ever going to tell you that the Arrowhead atmosphere won't be missed or that they don't like the Arrowhead atmosphere. No one's going to tell you that. Nobody. So, again, if you're one of those people who's pushing back saying, oh, it's not done yet, Missouri's going to pull something out, good luck with that. Because that Jackson County commissioner who spoke, Phil Levante, I believe was his name. I mean, that press conference was weird. And the amount of, like, you could tell he did not appreciate some of the questions from the media. And they have these visuals that they were presenting, and they're saying, oh, here's how much money from the state of Missouri, and here's how much from Kansas City, but we're not going to reveal the number of dollars because we don't want our competitors in Kansas to know. You do realize that this will come out anyway, and Kansas will counter that. But Kansas has a stern deadline by the end of 2025. So, and the commissioner said we were going to reveal this in January, but we got to do it now. Yeah, that means you're panicking. They're not going to admit it. They're panicking. The mayor, I mean, I know the mayor has been beating this confident drum all year long of, hey, the Chiefs are going to stay at Arrowhead and the Royals are going to move to Washington Square Park. Dude, you better figure something out because there has been zero progress whatsoever. The Chiefs literally put an RFP in the state of Kansas. They have been turning the wheels on this move. You want to know what one of the biggest indicators was? Back in, I think, March, the mayor said, we're not going to beg for these teams to stay. And back in November, not too long ago, the governor of Missouri, out of nowhere, said, hey, we can put a roof over Arrowhead. Where did that come from? Because the Chiefs, their original renovation proposal was for $800 million. in the special session in Missouri, when Rich Albichon, the representative for the Chiefs, met, he said it'd be $1.15 billion. And that's a $300 million increase. But they never asked why, which is funny. I mean, these are your elected officials, by the way, who did not ask the tough questions, the necessary questions. But again, I'm not an architect. This is not in my alley, but I don't think if you're going to build a roof over Arrowhead, it's going to cost more than $1.15 billion. And the mayor went on Pete Mundo's show in the summertime after the Senate approved of the vote and said, yeah, this is enough to keep the Chiefs and Royals. The chief said, no, this is not enough. The mayor on one of his live streams said, we can do more to activate the area around the Truman Sports Complex. Clark Hunt said otherwise at training camp. Yet the mayor just recently, last month, in another live stream, said, yeah, we can do more to activate the area around it. The owner of the Chiefs is literally telling you no. And I understand Clark Hunt does not live here and is not familiar with the Kansas City area compared to the mayor or the president, Mark Donovan. But you literally have the owner of the team 1 foot out the door. And right now, whether people want to admit it or not, the Chiefs have one big foot on the Kansas side of the state line. And that other foot will cross Monday afternoon. I'm sure we're going to discuss that a lot in the post-game show, which, by the way, as soon as the Chiefs and Titans go final, we will have the Chiefs Zone podcast, and we will have the video link for you guys to call in. All you have to do is click on the link, turn on your audio, your video, put in your name. We'll chat it up. We don't have to be just limited to this game. I know it's not a very exciting game to recap anyway, no matter what happens. I know a lot of you guys probably want to weigh in on the Chiefs possibly moving to Kansas tomorrow. So we will entertain that discussion as well afterwards. Let's see. Let's read some comments here. Do you think we pick up a QB to compete with the first season till Mahomes comes back, or do we stick with what we got? Well, the only quarterback under contract is Patrick Mahomes. So you have to get somebody this offseason, whether you bring back Gardner Minshew and Chris Oladokun or whatever it is the Chiefs want to do. They've got a lot of things to figure out at that position this year. And listen, I think you have to prepare in the event of a worst case scenario. I don't anticipate to happen, but it is nice to have that safety net. If you think that's Gardner Minshew, then hey, go with Gardner Minshew. Mayor Q trying to save their ass, yeah, 100%. I mean, that the last couple of statements the mayor has put out there in response to some of these recent news that have been leaked, he's basically letting you know that this is over. I mean, you've got to read between the lines sometimes. If the Royals leave the Truman Sports Complex, the Chiefs will stay and build there. But the Royals haven't made a decision yet, Tony. The Chiefs are ready to make a decision. Like the Chiefs are not interested in waiting around for the Royals. The Royals have had a very terrible game plan from the start. They don't know what they're doing. The Chiefs, I mean, they already cut off the handcuffs from the Royals. They're ready to do their own thing. And by the way, Tony, I don't know what you're saying. Build? Are you saying build a new stadium there? Building a new stadium is not on the Chiefs' agenda for the Missouri side. It's either renovate Arrowhead or go to Kansas. There's no option to build a new stadium in Missouri, and I don't know why. Don't ask me why. That's just never been the Chiefs' plan for Missouri for whatever reason. I just want a brick when they tear down Arrowhead or a bleacher seat. Yeah, I'd be interested in that as well. I would love to know how that would work. I would love a bleacher seat for sure. We need Eric back, not Nagy. History is the indicator. Oh, okay. You meant Nagy back. Okay. Yeah, I do recall your comment earlier, Sally. I was about to say Nagy back. Yeah, okay. That's okay. It happens. Happened to me yesterday. If you know, you know. Hopefully they sell some of the memorabilia at Arrowhead. Yeah, somebody was saying that, or was that you, John? Yeah, that was you, John. Arrowhead was originally designed to have a rolling roof. This is what you get when you drag your feet in improvements. Yeah, I know they tried that in what was it, 05 or 06, somewhere around there. They were considering that. And the Chiefs were guaranteed a Super Bowl if they approved of the rolling roof, but they never approved of it. And there you go. They're out. Remember that Mrs. Sherman, excuse me, from the Royals stated that they were done dealing with the county and the city after Frank White tried to get more money from the team. Yes, I do recall that Facebook post from Sherman's wife, John Sherman's wife. She had a lot to say. Yeah, Brad, I'm with you. It's not like they're leaving the KC area. Listen, for those saying, that it's either Missouri or nothing, I get Missourians are upset. Listen, I don't subscribe to this borderline battle. I don't care what happened in the 1600s. I don't care about any of that. Like, this is now. That was then. And my whole thing is this. Would you rather they go to Salt Lake City or San Antonio, cities that don't have an NFL team, or St. Louis? I know that's still Missouri, but I don't think people in Kansas City would like to see the Chiefs move to St. Louis. What about another city that's lost an NFL team? Would you rather they go to Oakland? I don't think you would want to see that, and I don't think they would want it either. Isn't the Hunt daughter married to someone at the Dolphins? I have no idea. Yeah, they're staying in the Kansas City area. And if you're one of those people that's angry about them moving to Kansas just because you don't like Kansas for no valid reason, okay, I mean, that's on you. I can't say anything else about that other than at least they're staying in the Kansas City area. That is the most important thing. When is the governor of Kansas speaking on this? It is Monday afternoon. I don't know what time. I would say get your musket rifle so we can fight Kansas. That was funny. I would say anywhere between 1 to 3 p.m. because the meeting is happening at 1 p.m. Now, is this going to be a quick meeting? Are they going to have another meeting before this behind closed doors? I don't know. But Monday afternoon, that's the most specific answer I can give you. If they do move to Kansas, Kansas will need a better transportation system, more buses. I agree. And I'm not too familiar with the transportation system because I have my own transportation, but I'm sure that is something they will work on. I think the benefit of having the Royals downtown, even though they did not give like any logistical explanation for the Crossroads one, and I know with the Washington Square Park, it's a terrible size, but one big benefit is the streetcar. I know the mayor is really big on the streetcar. Me personally, I've never used a streetcar. I know people who have, and I've heard mostly good things about it. But what I will say is that was one big benefit if the Royals were to go either north of the river or anywhere in the downtown area where the streetcar goes. And I know they're trying very hard to expand the streetcar all the way down to the plaza, I think, or maybe even further than that. I'm not 100% sure. What I do know is they've got to figure that out because that might not be, it's not going to be as feasible on the Kansas side. Now, I'm very interested in seeing the parking. I know both Clark Hunt and Mark Donovan have said many times that they did put out a survey and on this whole subject of stadium relocation and renovation and whatnot, the three big things that they want from the team would be a big parking lot, have the tailgating experience, and have the same atmosphere. So that's what the Chiefs, I think, are trying to prioritize in all of this. I mean, listen, for people saying the mystique of Arrowhead and you're not going to get the same passionate fan base, that doesn't make any sense. Like, are you saying Arrowhead's not going to be loud? Because first of all, it's going to have a roof, so it will be loud. I mean, anytime you're indoors, it's always going to be louder. But what, do people lose the ability to use their vocal cords and shout when they go from Missouri to Kansas? I mean, the Kansas Jayhawks have the loudest arena in college basketball. And like a lot of those people are from Kansas, obviously. So you can't really use that. Listen, the Chiefs are not going to have a bad parking lot. They will make sure that is figured out. They will make sure you're allowed to tailgate there. There's no way the Chiefs would make this move without that. I'm sure there will be parking garages. Obviously, you can't tailgate in a parking lot or a parking garage, excuse me. But I'm sure they'll have a lot of options for outdoor parking as well, so people can tailgate if they so choose. And listen, at the end of the day, the stadium does not make the atmosphere. It's the people who make it. I know a lot of people don't like hearing that, but that is true. That is 100% true. I'm excited to see the new era in Chiefs history. I just hope I live long enough to see it. We're a few years away, John. Hang in there. We're getting there. She was holding a special announcement after the session is over, is what she said on Topeka TV. Okay. All right. Good to know. Just play college games in Arrowhead on Fridays and Saturdays. Yeah, listen, I still think that stadium can be used for something. Now, would colleges and high schools still have a lot of interest in wanting to use that stadium? That I don't know. Would the county be interested in even keeping that stadium after 2030? That I don't know. The Royals have been 1 foot out from the beginning. They have said all along, we are done with the Truman Sports Complex. We want to go somewhere else. The idea was downtown, but downtown might not be logistically possible at this rate. It's the way Arrowhead is built to project sound. You can't build a stadium like that anymore. I'm all for the Chiefs moving to Kansas. Fans need to realize change is good. But listen, and I think another thing, and I spoke to Kendall Gammon, and I posted the interview I had with Kendall Gammon, the exclusive interview with Kendall Gammon. He did say that, all good things come to an end. Listen, I think one of these days, and maybe not in our lifetimes, but I think we will get to a point where every NFL stadium, yes, including Lambeau, will one day become indoors. Because look at right now, how many stadiums are in? We have 30 stadiums. 10 of them are indoors. A third are indoors. Third of the stadium are indoors. Now, when you look at other teams that are considering, first of all, teams that already are planning on indoor stadiums and they've already approved of it, and then a few more like the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Bears. If all three of those teams follow through, I think the projected year for all three of those teams to have a new indoor stadium will be 2031. And if all three of those teams do it, you will have 16 stadiums rather, because a couple teams share a stadium with an indoor stadium. That means more than half the stadiums will be indoors. So over the course of time, and I don't think it'll happen right away, I think it'll gradually happen, you're going to eventually get to a point where 2/3 of the stadiums will be indoors. And eventually, I think you're going to come very close to all of them being indoors. I think Lambeau is going to have an indoor stadium. I think Buffalo, yes, they have a brand new stadium opening next year. But I think once you pass the 50-year mark, which a lot of us might not be around then, 50, 60, 70 years even, I think that's, the stadium will start to become old then, and they'll have to consider a new stadium. Listen, is it possible that over the course of time, the trend of indoor stadiums goes away and outdoor stadiums come back? Maybe. Yeah, Ian Rappaport did say that Nagy's contract is up in the offseason and that he did not sign an extension. Yes. Daniel says, as long as Chiefs don't price out their fans with a new stadium, VIP fans don't usually cheer loud. Yeah, I've heard some of this as well. Listen, as far as the price out thing, look, we're in, let's just say 2026, because we're less than 2 weeks away from a new year. So you have 2026, 2027, 2028, 29, 30, 31. In 6 years, let's say the Chiefs do stay at Arrowhead. Let's say they, by some miracle, Kansas fumbles and they fumble a tush push and Missouri runs it all the way back for a scoop 6. Let's say Missouri does renovate Arrowhead Stadium and the Chiefs stay there. The prices for that new Arrowhead will go up also, because they've got to find a way to fund all of that. And if you're if you're a ticket buyer, if you're a Chiefs fan, you know parking's going to go up. And listen, even if they don't renovate Arrowhead and they stay there anyway, which is not at all possible, but let's just say that does happen, prices for things are going to go up anyway, guys. Like parking is what, $60 right now? What do you think it'll be in 6 years? What was it 6 years ago? And I know that's not the greatest example because the Chiefs have, not this year, obviously, but the Chiefs have been the best team in football since Patrick Mahomes started playing for the Chiefs. So they can really jack up the price and say, hey, this is what we're charging for an AFC championship game. People are going to go because it's an AFC championship game. The game before the Super Bowl. A lot of people cannot attend the Super Bowl. So as a fan, that is your Super Bowl for you. So prices for the current Arrowhead would have gone up anyway if they stayed there, even if they don't renovate, because prices for things go up. Arrowhead would be a sweet practice facility. Yeah, that's going to be in Olathe off K10 and Ridgeview. But yeah, it's going to be weird. Because listen, the renovations that they had, not necessarily old, not new either, but I actually like the Coffin renovations way more than the Arrowhead renovations. Like the Craft and Draft, I thought was a great idea. I know that was not the 2010 renovations. The 2010 renovations, I thought Coffin Stadium, they, no pun intended, hit a home run with that one. They absolutely did. Bring back Eric Bieniemy. I hope they stay with natural grass. I think they're trying to do, it sounds like they're trying to do what Allegiant Stadium is doing. And I think that's smart. Listen, I've been to Allegiant Stadium. It's a great stadium. That's one of the very few things I can say, nice things I can say about the Raiders. They've got a damn nice stadium. They've had college football games there. They've had big concerts there. I know Arrowhead has had no problems getting concerts, but let's be honest. Even in August and September, nobody wants to be outdoors in the heat listening to a singer. Even if it's your favorite singer in the world, you would rather have much better conditions. And I think this new stadium will provide that. Because the weird thing about Arrowhead, too, is they only do concerts around August and September or July. Like those 3 months is when you see the Chiefs have a concert. At least with an indoor stadium, you can do it whenever you want. You can book a concert at any time. You remember $4 parking back in the 90s and $200 season tickets? Yeah, those were the days. I have a box here. Hold on. Let's do a little show and tell. Bear with me. This is a mess here. I'm just going to put these there. It's a really heavy box here, but I've got right here tickets from the 2000s. This is my dad took me to the no punt game that year. So for all you people who say I'm a bandwagon fan and I didn't start podcasting until Mahomes got here, yeah, look at this. Look at this, man. This was actually given to me recently by my parents. And I'm so glad they kept these. I've actually wondered I knew they kept these, and I've always wondered for the longest time where have these been. This was section 213, front row in the yellow seats. Look at the ticket price. $103 right there. Chiefs Vikings home opener, week 3, 07. And then this one, I'll never forget this one. This one was, I think, the 4-year anniversary of 9/11. It was actually really special, the tributes they had before the game and the USA chants. We sat second row. I remember Priest Holmes once got pushed out of bounds, and we were so close to him at one point. I was a freshman in high school when we went to this game. But here's the ticket price for this one. Look at that. Oh, you can't see it. Focus. There we go. $73. Second row seats. I had second row seats for the Chiefs Eagles game this year, and I paid $1,500 for those 2 tickets. This is $73. What is this? Oh, I remember this one. Chiefs Bengals. This was not a good game at all. This was the one where Trent Green had the concussion. What row were we? 7th row. What year was it? 06? Yeah, 06. 7th row tickets. $79. $79, dude. Wild. What else do I have here? I have Royals tickets also. What is this? Oh, we played the Yankees. Oh, this was when Section 315. This is the second level. This was, I think, the second game ever at the renovated Kauffman Stadium. Was it fully renovated? I can't remember. But nonetheless, $29. Chiefs, not Chiefs. I'm sorry, Royals, Yankees. Be very interesting if the Chiefs played the Yankees. What else do I have in here? Got a lot of things here. Let's see. Oh, the parking from that Royals game. That same Royals game. It doesn't have a price tag on it. Yeah, it doesn't have a price tag, but there it is. Yeah, so I won a national broadcasting award in high school. And who was this? The Board of County Commissioners in Johnson County sent me a congratulations letter through my high school. Look what they called me. I mean, they crossed it off, but still, it's a little weird. They addressed me as Master Vesugian, and then they crossed it off and put my first name. I think that's the only time I've ever been called a master, but I'll take it. What else do I have here that I can share? Here's a Chiefs 08 schedule. Herm Edwards last year, Carl Peterson's last year. I got magnet schedules. I got all kinds of things here. What is in this envelope? What is in this envelope? Nothing you guys care about. There are a lot of stuff here, man. It's crazy. Here's you had section 109, row 13, paid $675. Season tickets in 2014, 2015. Yeah, see, this was before the dynasty. And I mean, the Chiefs obviously got off to bad starts those years too. 0-2 in 2014 and 2015, 1-5. So yeah. Yeah, there was that nice little show and tell with those ticket prices there. Damn, that box is heavy. Here's another thing too. So these are just like memorabilia coins. Look at this. They covered them with pennies and they laminated them pretty well too. It's a quarter, excuse me. Quarter. Look at that. Oh, it's hard to see with the lighting, but Trent Green, Dante Hall, Priest Holmes. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. What else do I have here? Oh, this is somewhat of a collectible. Alex Rodriguez, first New York Yankees game. You can't see that. What do we got here? This is out of date. LA Lakers, 14-time NBA champions. What is over here? This is a Tom Brady coin. Oh, this is not a good memory as a Lakers fan. The 04 NBA Finals. That was not fun. Where are the bobbleheads? In the basement, in the man cave. Oh, I was a huge Brett Favre fan. That was like my favorite non-Chiefs player growing up when I started getting into football. Brett Favre coin collection there. And then this last one. What the hell is this? Oh, another favorite of my non-Chiefs. Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. Yeah, there it is. So, all right, that'll do it for this episode of Show and Tell. Appreciate you guys joining me for the pregame live chat. I am Farzin Vasugian. Come back at halftime. We will do our halftime live chat. And then after the game, we will do the Chiefs Zone podcast live. And if you want to talk about the game, we can talk about the game. If you'd rather talk about the stadium situation, we can do that as well. I know we didn't get a chance to do that on Friday and yesterday with call-ins. Yesterday we didn't do a live stream, but I know there have been a lot of comments in the last 72 hours. So I know you guys have thoughts, and I want to hear from you guys. I want you guys to share those thoughts. So I'll have the link for you guys to call in after the game as well when we do the Chiefs Zone podcast live. I'm Farzee Vasugian. Thank you all for joining me. Have a great rest of your morning. Enjoy the game. I'll talk to you all at halftime.